Hey there guys, Frankomatic here, and we are taking a quick look at the Cinemaware anthology. This is full of games that I played as a kid. Not on the Amiga necessarily, I did not own an Amiga, but some of these you might recognize. Defender of the Crown, Rocket Ranger, It Came from the Desert, Wings, and some you might not, like Sinbad and the Throne of the Falcon, SDI. There was a sequel to It Came from the Desert. I did not know that. But today, we are going to play this SDI. I will let the game tell you the story of what's going on here. As I mentioned, I did not own an Amiga, so I'm not certain if everything in this is 100% accurate. I've got some questions. If any of you guys have actually played the original version of this, please feel free to answer them. Because there's some behaviors that I feel are a little odd, let's say. This is also a game that you very much want to read the manual for, or else you'll have no idea what is going on. My first attempt at playing this was just a miserable failure. But once you know what you're doing, this game's actually very easy. The long and the short of it is we are going to defend the United States from some rogue Russian missile attacks, shoot down some space fighters, etc., etc. Hopefully I won't make a fool of myself and will actually manage to win. It's not too hard. Anyways, we can look at our satellite status. Yep. But that's not important. What is important is let's get into our fighter and take care of business. That is Tatiana. She is our Russian counterpart. Shut up. Why did I start near the Russian station? Oh, whatever. And that message will be that one of our satellites got zapped. That is one of our two main goals here, is to keep... Okay, where the heck am I? Keep our satellites running. And stop missiles from blowing up the United States. That message will be... basically that there's a missile launch that's going to happen in 2 minutes. So we'll want to be ready to deal with that. We also want to keep as many of our satellites active as we can, because they are how we stop said missile attacks. And repairing the missiles. We can also dock back at our base, which I'll be doing shortly because my laser energy is a little low. In fact, I'll do it now, and that will enter a second little minigame, which is this one, where we just need to line up with this and not be going too fast. And then we can fix our shields, recharge our energy, And get out of the ship if we want to, but we don't need to get out just yet. We still have a little bit of time before we need to get back up there to the other minigame of missile defense. One of my questions is, I've noticed that in my playing of this, the Russian ships are really terrible shots. I have never really come close to dying in this, aside from the first round where I had no idea what I was doing. And honestly, the energy meter for the laser doesn't make any sense to me either, because I can run out of energy but still be able to shoot. Speaking of which, it's time to dock. As we are getting a little low on time, it's time for the first attack. In my experience, this is a little random, but there's usually 3 missile strikes to defend against. And the end game will start up. Oop, 4 seconds. Luckily, we will have a little time to deal with this. Alright, missile defense. Go. Okay, here is our grid of the United States. Missiles should... there we go, there's one. Alright, our primary is thing. Okay, beam gives us 1 shot, but it's supposedly easier to aim, whereas pulse is a little harder to aim, again, supposedly, but gives you as many shots as you can take. Primary and secondary is essentially, if your primary is disabled for the time zone you're in, you need to use the secondary. But if you're keeping on top of it, that'll never be the case. God damn, I'm a bad shot today. Again, due to the supposed difficulty in aiming and my, as you can see, shitty accuracy, I almost always go with pulse. Because generally what happens when I try beam is I miss, and then I'm screwed until I can retarget the missile manually and try again. Whereas with pulse, I can just keep firing at it until I either hit it or it goes off screen. Now, Soviet's got a lot of hardware to fire at us. Also, my problem with the aiming is that the hitbox on this thing is a little wonky. In that really, you kind of need the missile to be in, like, the bottom chunk of the target in order to hit it. I don't know why that is. Oh. Whew, that was close. I generally like to try and hit them before they're on their downward arcs, just to give me a little bit of time in case I need to take another shot at them. And looks like we're fine for round 1. This is a game that I had actually never heard of, even though I'm a pretty big Cinemaware fan, before this collection came out. As I mentioned, once you know what you're doing, it's very easy. But before that, I had absolutely no idea. It was amazing how fast I lost because all my satellites got destroyed. Mainly because I didn't know you could repair them by pushing R on the keyboard and lining up with one of them. Now, I'm not certain if the Russian ships are supposed to be so bad at shooting you. That's one of the many questions I have as to if this is an accurate emulation or not. Whoa. Don't know what happened there. I'm using fraps on this, and fraps on my computer occasionally don't get along, so hopefully those stutters won't continue. I better recharge. And one of my other questions is, are you supposed to be able to keep shooting forever? if your energy runs out, because it seems weird to have an energy meter that doesn't really mean anything. I mean, I suppose I've seen weirder in video games, but... I apologize for the many delays since my last recording. I just have been very busy. I will, in general, always attempt to get more videos up. It won't always be timely. But I won't leave you guys totally hanging, if I can avoid it. If I am going to stop doing videos entirely, I will definitely let you guys know in the form of another video. That's kind of funny, I admit. Oop. That one got wrecked, and we got another missile strike incoming. Let's fix up this satellite first. There we go. Now let's go duck. Also, the fact that we have a female Russian operative assisting us is not just something that's going to be completely forgotten by the game. We will be dealing with that a little later on. Not just yet, though. I might do some more games out of this collection. Most of the Cinemaware collection is pretty good. There's a couple of games that I definitely will not win. It Came from the Desert comes to mind, because holy cow, I just cannot figure out a good way to win that game. In other news, if any of you were fans of Rocket Ranger, there is currently a Kickstarter going by Cinemaware to do a reboot of Rocket Ranger with new stages and such. So if you had always wanted more Rocket Ranger, now is your chance to get in on it. R is for repair, not D, Frank. I know it's late, but come on, you can do this. See if we can shoot down some of these fighters. Nope! Now we've got a satellite out, but that probably won't be a problem. As long as I don't screw up this docking. Whoop! Don't have time to get energy. Need to get up there and shoot down some missiles. If your primary is down, which is what that first thing will tell you, the functional there will say not functional, you need to use your secondary. And again, the effect of that is it is harder to aim at the missiles. Which I guess means they just juke around a lot more. It's one of those things that I can't really tell the difference on. Another reason why I tend to just use pulse instead of beam. I don't see a big difference in the difficulty in hitting. Man, I'm on the ball here. I'm gonna warn you, we probably won't see the best ending message because I don't know how to get it. The only time I've seen it and know that it exists is because once the game just kind of bugged out and told me I won immediately after starting before anything happened. Well, that was a wild failure. Let's try that again. Sometimes the missiles juke way more than others. Oh, this one's coming down. There we go. Now let's get this one going from Miami. It's gonna land first, I think. There we go. And Seattle. Uh-oh. We're gonna lose Seattle? Nope. Got it. If you try to fire primary with a non-functional primary satellite, the game will just flat out not let you shoot and you'll waste your time. The old hallmark of old games, allowing you to do things that will not work because, why not? Get rid of some of these fighters. Let's go repair that satellite that's down and then come back and dock. Because our energy is low. Again, doesn't really seem like that does anything. I don't know if that's legit. But I have not done anything to this. This is just a straight up, I downloaded it after buying it. This is how it's behaving. I don't know if it's correct. I kind of want to say it's probably not because it doesn't seem correct. Just like the horrific inaccuracy of the Soviet starfighters. In fact, outside of getting all your satellites blasted, I've only really seen one way to reliably die, and that involves doing something kind of dumb. Or, again, not understanding what's going on. But I'll talk about that a little bit more when we get there. That is the end game. End game. The easiest way to see that without having to check the messages constantly is we will have a 4-minute timer pop up instead of a 2-minute in the upper right. But we've got one more missile attack to get through before that comes up. Speaking of which, there it is. I'm too close to that satellite. The space plane reinforcement waves are endless right now. You will never be able to shoot all of them down. And they will constantly wreck your satellites. I found no way to stop them from doing so. All you can do is keep them repaired. If all of them get wrecked, you lose. If you somehow get shot down, despite the fact that these guys could not hit the broadside of a barn, you lose. If you let all the cities you are guarding get nuked, you lose. And there is one or two other ways to lose. We will get to that when that actually becomes something to think about. Which again, won't be until after this next missile attack. And I do have one last question relating to that once we get to that point, because there is something that kind of doesn't agree with what the manual says should happen, that happens. And again, I'm not certain if that's just wonky emulation on the PC here. I want want to fix that before I go back. There we go. Let's get docked. Stop that last missile strike. Oh boy, I only had 6 seconds left. If I screw this up, we are going to be in a bad spot. If you're going too fast, you get knocked out of this. If you're not lined up properly, you get knocked out of this. It's a very matter of finesse. We have no time. There's going to be missiles in the air when we get up there, most likely. Go, 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 go. Oh, we made it. Okay. I feel better now. I can generally prevent any of our cities from getting nuked. It's not too hard once you get used to the kind of wonky targeting. Come on. Goddamn. There we go. I'm not certain why this whole missile defense system is dependent on a dude to do literally everything from dogfighting to actually manually targeting the satellites to going out and repairing the satellites. You'd think they'd have a team for this as opposed to a guy, but whatever. Okay. Welp, that didn't go so well. Try again. There we go. Yeah, I really see absolutely no reason not to always go pulse. I think it's just because I'm a really bad shot, if you might have noticed. So having more attempts is better. The scrolling message at the bottom is just saying, oh no, the Soviets took out one of our satellites, even though I already repaired it. Because I never bothered checking the messages in the ship. Because all they do is clog up my radar instead of letting me see my radar. Okay, let's redock. So we can get our energy back. Even though, again, I don't see any point in doing that, because your ship seems to fire just fine without the energy, but whatever. You can also speed up and slow down your ship with the plus and minus keys, but again, there's really doesn't seem to be a point in doing that. The only reason to check that scanner map I checked a few times while flying is to make sure you're going the right direction for the endgame. Well, very soon, we will need to go over to the Russian station. Spoilers. And help out our Russian counterpart. Right now, in fact. Let's get ourselves pointed there. Okay, we dock here, much the same. Easiest way to tell is the shape is completely different. And we'll get in here and we'll get to the last part of the game. Well, the next to last part. Just don't screw up the docking. Okay. Now we need to save our female Russian counterpart from an attack by the rogue KGB agents mentioned in the story. And now it's a first-person shooter, sorta. This is pretty much the only place we really have any chance of dying. You need to kill enough guys to be able to run forward safely. The manual claims that if you shoot enough dudes, they'll stop popping up, but that doesn't seem to be the case. It also claims that they can miss, but I've never seen them miss a shot if they get a shot off. In my experience, generally shooting about 10 or so, maybe 12 if you're not feeling completely confident, is enough to move forward relatively safety. You shoot the run button. If there are any guys, they'll take pot shots at you and they will completely fuck you up if there are enough of them left. But anyways, you have to move forward 3 times to save Titania. As long as you're quick on the draw, it's not too big of a deal. They only pop out of these 3 spots. I've never seen another one come up anywhere else. And as long as you get over here relatively quickly, you'll have plenty of time to deal with these dudes. They do get a little faster on the draw as you go. Again, since they only come from these certain spots. As long as you keep yourself relatively centered target-wise. Not a big deal. They get really fast in this last section, though. Which is why if you haven't been actively killing enough of them to move forward uninhibited, you will die here. Wow, I am doing a terrible job. Another 3 or 4 should do it. 1, 2, 3. That should be fine. Go, go, go! Now we get the standard Cinemaware this kind of scene. Just about every Cinemaware title has this kind of a scene in it. Not all of them. And now to finish the game out, we have one last task, and that is to shoot down the rest of the fighters. Make sure we're pointed the right way. Yeah. And now fighters stop spawning. They are still really awful shots, so there is really no danger if you made it to this point. You're probably gonna win. Shooting down the jerks that are circling around your satellites can be kind of tricky. I don't know why, but they just seem really hard to hit. Anyways, once we shoot these last 3 jerks down, we'll have one. Rather, this last jerk. I'm not doing a great job of shooting this jerk down. Let's fix that. There won't be any more missile strikes. I missed! This is easily the most annoying part. Okay, let's slow her down, see if maybe that helps. There, got it. And yeah, this is the ending message I always get. I don't know how to get the best one, although if we sit through the credits and let it recycle through, sometimes it bugs out and gives you the best message. So let's do that, just for fun. Now, by the way, it turns out the whole thing was just a movie. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Yeah. Given enough time, I do kind of want to go through a few more of the games in the Cinemaware anthology. I would like to give Rocket Ranger another go. The last time I played it was on the NES, and when I was too dumb and young to understand what I was supposed to be doing. But now that I get the game, I'd like to give it another go. King of Chicago is another one that's kind of fun. I can't reliably win, but I can reliably get to the end game. I might take another stab at It Came from the Desert also, although I am really bad at that one. Time will tell. I might also do Lords of the Rising Sun at some point, if I can make it cooperate, because that one seems a little crash-happy for me. I don't know why. Anyways, let's see if it bugs out and gives the best message if I go back into the game. Last time all I did was launch, and it immediately just said, "Hey, you win!" Yep. So here's the best ending message. And look at it have issues. Stop what you're doing, computer. As you can see, it's basically the same kind of message. Commander Kazarian is the Russian counterpart. And then it'll just drop right back into the credits. No other scenes or anything, just a different message. I don't know how to get that. If anyone knows, please let me know, as I'd kind of like to know how to get it for real. But for now, this has been SDI. Later, guys.